Let's try this again. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Successful Sundays. I tried earlier. For some odd reason, I was having technical difficulties. My mic was just not working. So it looks like it is now. So let's get into it. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the new time, 11 a.m. Successful Sundays. This is how we're going to be doing it. We're going to be setting up our week a little bit differently because I have other obligations, but I'm all about pivoting and adapting. So it's a little bit earlier than what we're used to, but that's okay. It's bright, it's early, it's shiny, it's sunny, it's beautiful outside. So let's get into the topic. The topic is, be prepared to lose friends when you're going through a moment of growth. What kind of made me bring up with this topic was because I noticed that, when you're growing and you're pivoting a lot, your environments that you were once in may not really connect and fit the way it once did in the past. So sometimes you're thinking, maybe certain environments just wasn't clicking anymore. Maybe where you are now, it's just not where you really are seeing yourself moving forward, right? There's just different things in your life that your environments won't resonate with you when you're growing. And I personally can say that and contest to that I've shed a lot of, I don't want to say totally dead weight, but I've shed a bit of certain situations and certain environments that I don't think worked for me. Um and still don't work for me. And I think the part of that is also gaining that self-respect aspect of it all, where you just know that you deserve and you want better. So let's just waste no time. Let's get right into the topic. Please understand that going forward, 11 a.m. Successful Sundays, no matter what, even if you miss it, you'll always have the link afterwards to view and watch. And please be in the comments to, you know, c- have a conversation. Let's talk about even the topic even further. So one ways that you could also assess your circle is you do an audit. I'm a big believer in reflection. I'm a big believer in kind of having the corner view of your life. What I mean by the corner view is, let's say you're in the corner, you could actually see more of what's going around you. You can actually take a more of a, a better view of where you are. And maybe there's certain things in that room or in your life, I would say, that's just not hitting the way it used to. Maybe it's expired now. Its time is up. So the couple of questions that you can start asking yourself to do an audit is, who do I spend my most time with, and what do they normalize? What do their values match with me? Like, what are some of the things that they normalize that maybe don't hit the way they used to hit anymore? And it could be certain things like maybe they just lounge more than you want to do. Maybe there's drugs, maybe it's alcohol, maybe it's just energy that you're not feeling it anymore. Maybe they're not shifting in the direction that you are shifting and wanting to shift to. So it's a good way to kind of take a step back and audit. And do you feel safe? And I mean safe, not just physically. I want you to think about it a bit deeper. Do you feel safe enough to share some of your vulnerable moments, some of the things that you're going through, some of the things that you're outgrowing? Part of growth and part of healing is sharing, being vulnerable, having these discussions with your close friends and close connections around you, because we all serve each other in many ways. And by sharing your story, you never know if you are helping another person along the way. You never know if your story is just clicking with them the way that it would. You never know if you could motivate them and inspire them to push forward. And that is so critical and important that I don't think we often recognize. We will look at something and think that that's enough, that's cool, like whatever, I'm doing it. But no, in some odd way, you could be doing something that just resonates with a person that's just trying to move forward. And by you just being yourself, and you can inspire them, right? Like, it's just something to think about. What do the conversations sound like? Is it gossip or is it growth? Man, I this one resonates with me a great deal. I I personally understand that we're going to talk about certain people that are on the internet and stuff like that. But there's even certain television shows I do not touch in any way, shape, or form. And a lot of them are reality shows. I will have them in the background depending on what it is, but typically, like, I'm just working away. But I don't really invest in them because obviously they're not really, they're called reality, but they're not reality, right? And that links to gossip as well. Do I want to have these conversations all the time? Maybe a little bit, but are we talking about growth? Are we talking about pivoting? Are we talking about moving? Are we talking about leveling up in some way? You have this is why like assessing and auditing your environment is so important, because maybe there's parts of your environment that's just not, you're constantly talking about gossiping about another person, or you're having conversations about they have this and you have that. What's the importance and significance of that in the first place? How does that help you? How does that benefit you? Not much, right? I often think about those moments that I've wasted doing those things. It's not even wasted because I guess after a while you learn from them and you realize it's just not quite hitting the way they did. So you're just not really into it as much anymore. But I want you to take a step back and think like, what are you all about? The gossip or the growth? And it could also stem by from what, like again, like what kind of content are you watching and taking? I block gossip columns on all my social media profiles and accounts because I don't want to. I don't care. Like in many ways, if it pops on my feed because someone's doing a take on it, then cool. But I don't care. I don't link myself to any of it. What is the purpose of that? And when you start to block those accounts, you will feel different. Like I noticed that, and I've also noticed when at the beginning when I blocked those accounts, and people were sending me stuff, I'm like, yo, I blocked them. I blocked them because they're toxic, or that there's nothing positive that comes from that. Those are little ways that you could shift your mindset, and it could also help you throughout your healing. Another question you could ask yourself is, am I growing with them or away from them? If you ever have like an inkling or a feeling that the environment is just not hitting the way it used to, there's a chance that you're kind of outgrowing them. And I want to tell you this, it is okay to outgrow environments. We are here to experience everyone, obviously experience life. So if you're outgrowing environments that just not hitting the way it once did in the past, and in the present, you're just, because you're pivoting and adapting and growing and healing and you're wanting to self improve, and you're finding that it's just not the way it once was, that's okay. I want you to give yourself some grace. And that could be also a reason maybe why you've been so fearful of growing, because you've been afraid of the loneliness aspect to it. Because, yeah, I'm not going to lie nor deny there's a point where you will feel lonely. And there's going to be a point where you pass the loneliness and you kind of get to, okay, I'm locking in. Past that point, there's a point where you will not allow anyone to interfere with your peace and the joy and the work you have done. And you're going to fade in the bushes like Homer Simpson anytime that you feel that somebody's energy is off or that it's not matching your values. Case in point, I saw a video yesterday where this young man was saying if he's around any of his friends and they're being, he was a male, so they're being like in a sense like a deadbeat dad, or they were cheating on their spouse, he's like, I'm going to call them out, and if they're not going to make changes, I'm going to just kind of pivot. I'm not going to be around them because that doesn't match my energy and that doesn't match my values. Now granted, some of the people in this, it was a podcast, so some people in that circle were like, and between him and another gentleman were like, yeah, I get that, because the environments that you're in, if you're in these environments, you instill the energy of those environments, believe it or not. So if you're trying to pivot and grow, self improve, heal, like it's like you're almost being pulled by the ankles as you're trying to move. This is why assessing and auditing your environments are so key. It's actually, I would say, it's like one of the first steps or one of the beginner steps you do before you even say that I want to self improve. You assess where you are. Furthermore, I don't even believe in the whole aspect of let's go ghost for 6 months. If you're not willing to look at your environment, because you could go for, ghost for 6 months and then you come back in the environment and you were going to be triggered, upset, annoyed, and aggravated because this is not who you once were before. So you have to really assess and really look at where you are, look at your environment. You could either put people on and say, yo, I'm going to be doing this. Do you want to come with me? And if they're saying no, then you may have to sever ties. But it's important for you to do an audit, because if you go 6 months and you try to come back and they're going to be like, yeah, come back into the same habits and not matching your values and not matching the habits you're in, what was the entire point? Sometimes you got to work within that to really check, is this where I want to be? Is this where I want to go? Is there more to this? And more than likely, you're going to realize there is more to it. A couple of things that do misalign us from our environments is people pleasing. That's a big one right there. Not wanting to leave people behind, the fearfulness of the loneliness, I was saying, the imposter syndrome. It can really stall your progress. Listen, put it this way. I want you to think about it this way. You said to yourself, maybe, I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow's today. Because you said tomorrow, 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 tomorrow. This is July right now. Today is July 27th. It's 11:15 a.m. You said I will start X, Y, and Z tomorrow. Tomorrow is today. Are you going to start? I'm challenging you to that. That is your challenge. You said you were going to start. You said that you were going to check your environments. You said that you're going to audit to see if this is the place that you want to be in. You said this time and time again. We are in the month 7 of 2025. Wake up. This is the time for you to really start laying the foundations of where you want to go, because by the time you blink, by the time that you blink, you're going to realize two things. If you're in a cold climate country like myself, you're putting on the damn winter jacket already. That is an indication that the year is done. That is the indication that the year is done. So the people pleasing, the imposter syndrome, the fear of the loneliness or the fear of success, it's worth it. But you got to do the audit first. You got to check your environments before you even create a strategy. You got to check, like, okay, is this what's popping? Like, is this really going to work? Not, and don't even question yourself if you think you're going to fail. Forget that. Check if it's going to work in the environment you're in. And if your answer is no, because you know subconsciously you already know where you want to go. You don't need me like a coach to tell you where you want to go. And it's not my job too. I just pretty much incite the awareness in your head, in your heart, in your soul, in your body, in your energy of where you want to go. You already know subconsciously. You just may need to push like somebody like me. And that is cool. But at the end of the day, you got to really ask yourself, how badly do I want it? How badly do I want it? How badly am I willing to change and shift my environments to get to where I am? How badly do I really, really, really want to be the ideal version of myself? And I ain't going to lie to you, it is not going to be comfortable. It's probably one of the most uncomfortable steps you're ever going to take, because it's stripping away the pieces of you that you have been so damn comfortable in, wrapped up in a blanket, chilling, warm, cozy. But if you're not willing to audit your environments and you're willing to hold on to the connections that are not serving you to move forward, what is the entire point, my friend? What is the entire point? Environment isn't just people, yo. It's in your mind. It feeds your it feeds your spirit. It feeds your soul. It feeds your energy. You ever find that when you're in certain environments, you could either feel like some like negative like spirit, and you're like, yo, the energy's off. And the first thing you want to do is say, yo, I'm out. Because that's me. I'm out. Like most people know that. If I notice that the energy is off, guess what? I'm exiting stage left. Simple. So your environment isn't just people. It affects and it feeds your mind, your body, your spirit, your energy, and you take it with you. So this is why it's important for you to check in, audit, and assess your environment. This ain't a drill. This ain't a joke. So the steps you need to take. I want you to write this down if you haven't already. If you're watching this on your phone, go to your notepad right now, and I want you to write this down. You want to audit your environments, but I want you to audit it without guilt. No bad vibes, nothing like that. You're doing this to honor you. The second thing is you want to limit the proximity of the things that drain you. It may not just be people, it could be the habits that you do every dang day. Shift it. Shift it. Shift it with other things, with positive things, the things that you know that will help you get to where you want to go. You want to move towards the online community. You want to move towards the connections and the people that align with the values and the person you're trying to become. There's meetups. There's I have a community for Black women. We meet up. We literally met up last night. We meet up once a month just to check in. A lot of them are free, y'all. Join them. Join them. All right. And if you want to join my community, by all means, the link will be in the description. Just shoot me an email, sign up, and we meet up once a month virtually. We're trying to do something where it's in person, but yeah, definitely join that. And lastly, be what you attract. I can't stress this part enough. If you want to become this ideal person of yourself, you visualize it, you see it, you feel it in your bones. What is that person doing? You know what they're doing, how they got there. But I ain't gonna lie to you, part of you is either too lazy to do it or you're afraid. It's one or the other. Why I say those words? Because I was one of that person. I was a little bit lazy. I was like, nah, I don't want to lift these weights. Nah, I don't want to eat healthy. Nah, I don't want to get up early to meditate. Nah, I don't want to do any of that. Until I said enough is enough. So maybe my message to you, by me being obedient this morning and being here at 11 o'clock in the morning, I've been up since 7. Me being here is for you to get the reminder that this is your time. No more laziness. No more I'll wait till tomorrow. No more I'll wait till next week. This is your tomorrow. Get started now. You're not here by mere hapstance. You are here for a reason. You clicked on my video because something intrigued you to say, man, I got to watch this girl real quick. I got to watch Coach. You're not here by just like nothing. You're here for a reason. This is your tomorrow. And I am your message. The time is now. No more laziness, no more excuses. Lock in. You got time. And I'm not saying that you got to do like 2 hours a day of investment. Can you invest 30 minutes? You spend 30 minutes scrolling. Hey, I mean, we do. So can you invest 30 minutes? Absolutely, you can. Take the small steps. The small steps equal to big, big, big moves. You understand? So become the person. Sorry, the last step that I want you to think about and take is become the person to attract the life that you want, the ideal life that you keep seeing, keep feeling, keep hearing. This is not a drill. This is confirmation. You have to do the work. God, the universe, your ancestors, they will pull in and align you to where you go. But if you don't take that step, that's on you, my dear. Bruh, that is on you. Take the step. Your time is now. I am your confirmation. All right? All right, y'all. So you got a little bit of homework for this week. And we're going to have a successful week. This is the week of Sunday, July 27th. You're going to have a successful week. And if that is not your affirmation for this week, I don't know what is. Repeat this. I'm going to have a successful week. You are going to have a successful week. All right, y'all. Again, remember, new time, 11 a.m. every Sunday, unless I am sick or unable. But new time, 11 a.m. every Sunday. Oh, by the way, if you would like to join my free workshop on August 2nd, that is August 2nd, that's next Saturday, I believe. Yes, next Saturday. There'll be a link in the bio for you to register. If you want to join my newsletter, also, I'll leave a link in the bio so you could do that. I pump out content and good advice and tips throughout the week. Lock in on that, especially if you're ready to be in the confirmation of what I'm saying so that you can no longer say, I'll wait till tomorrow, that I'm going to start today. That's what's up. You understand? All right. I will see you on Tuesday. New episode of the Dope Life Podcast will be dropping. And I hope you're able to get some good gems out of this. And again, we're going to have a successful week. Okay? All right. All right, y'all. I will see you next week. Y'all know what to do. Walk with peace. Walk with love.